Hi, I'm Steve Chernoski, and this is Tap Into You, a podcast on regional issues brought to you by Tap Into Flemington Raritan, your neighborhood news online. This episode has been taped on April 13th, 2022, and my guests today are Greater Lambertville Chamber of Commerce members, Amy Coss of Sojourner on Bridge Street, and Bill Linderman, who has run the music on main stage over the past couple decades. Bill is now on the operations committee of Shadfest, and Amy is the chair of the Chamber's Charities Board. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you.
We're a couple of weeks away from Shadfest. Amy, would you like to tell us about the scholarship fund that a lot of people who attend might not know about?
Sure. As part of the Shad Festival, the Chamber runs a art poster auction. So all of our fabulous local talented artists donate original works of art, all done on a poster blank, which we auction off to fund a scholarship. And each year we give two $10,000 scholarships, one to a student in Lambertville and one to a student in New Hope, who are going on to pursue a degree in the fine, performing, or culinary arts.
And can you tell us about when people are congregating downtown? There's like a locals lane, I believe, on Church Street this year, or maybe.
Yes.
Yep.
That is new this year, and that was specifically designed to encourage our local artists to have a presence at the Shad Festival. So that Bill maybe can speak a little bit more to that. I have been all auction all the time, but as I understand it, this is to encourage our local artists to take advantage of this opportunity to showcase their wares, because that is the dual purpose of the poster auction, is to both promote our local artists through showing their works and to fund the scholarship.
Bill, you want to talk a little more about that?
Well, I think it's a great move for them to do that, since they're not promoting music at a main stage anymore, and they're taking that opportunity to give that space to the local artists. So I think it's fabulous, really.
And then how about some of the other new things to expect from this year, Bill, as far as Shadfest 2022 is concerned?
I think we have quite a few new vendors, which is great. And on Friday night, our local musical group, the Shackers, the band.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to play. They're going to play on Friday night down in that same space where the locals are going to play. I think that's where they are, and so that'll be a fun kind of kickoff event,
Nice. I used to live on Perry, so Perry and the Path. You'd always run into them from time to time when the weather got nice.
Yeah,
sure.
You can't run into the Shackers,
Nice.
Yeah.
And then so. Amy, can you tell us about as people are getting interested into the arts, what's going on in the gymnasium? Now I understand that there is a big venue. There's gonna be arrows pointing, because a lot of times I told Liz before when we interviewed that I would often miss this, is that there's a big event in the gymnasium regarding art in Lambertville.
Yes, so far I have 150 different original works of art that are all going to be displayed in the gymnasium of the Lambertville Presbyterian Church, which is at the end of Church Street on North Union Street. It's at the intersection of Church and North Union. The door through the cemetery will be open up, so you'll be able to walk through the very historic colonial cemetery, and there'll be signs with a fish with a place setting with a fish and arrows to come into the gymnasium and view the art. And then this year, through the generous sponsorship of Canon Graphics, we are reintroducing the Shadfest Kids program. So there will be several hundred posters designed by our elementary school children to, again, encourage the arts.
My kids have been working on them. So
great.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Right?
They're both at LPS now. So, yes, for sure.
So there'll be a clothesline art show of the children's art, along with the posters are a combination of professional artists, full-time artists who make their living doing this, names that you would know from our area, like Robert Beck, who's had his own retrospective at the Michener Art Museum, Jean's Child's Buds Go, Eleanor Voorhees, Annalise Van Domelen, Brian Fisher, all these giants of the
Miles.
modern day. Excuse me?
Miles is
I know Miles hasn't handed me a poster yet.
really.
But all these giants of the modern day Bucks County, Delaware River towns Impressionist school who
Yeah.
generously donate their works of art. And then I also receive submissions from previous winners of the scholarships. These are students that we have supported with the scholarship, and they in turn give back by providing us works of art to auction off. And this is the phenomenal thing about the scholarship, is that so many of the students that we support through the scholarship go on to have meaningful careers in the arts. And that to me is really what makes this so rewarding to put this all together. We have people like Gabe Stevens, who we supported through the scholarship, and Gabe has returned to be the music director at South Hunterdon Regional High School. We have a young woman, Victoria Tinsman, who is now doing hair and makeup on Broadway and just finished up working on season 5 of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. We have a young woman who is launching her own clothing line. A woman who started a whole art school for children called Painting with Picasso. So, these students go on to really have meaningful careers in the arts. It's really exciting to see what they're doing.
I have to say, Steve, that Amy, how long have you been doing this?
I know the answer to this because I asked her before, and you too, but it's all right. Go ahead.
Well, I have been a member of the chamber for 32 years, but I believe it was 1997 when I first put that crazy hat on my head.
With the crazy hat, yeah.
Started working for the auction.
Yeah. You deserve so many kudos. You run such a great program, and I just want to acknowledge you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And before going to Bill, I just want to tell viewers that if we'll link it in the show notes, but the lambertvillechamber.com/shad and then -fest, you can read the details of the Jim Hamilton Shadfest scholarship. The deadline has already passed by the time we're recording this, but there's always next year, everybody, because there's going to be another one next year. Hopefully, well, yes, of course, not hopefully, there will be.
Yes.
But,
and then just to tag on to that, the deadline is always in the beginning of April. You need to live in the South Hunterdon Regional High School sending district or the New Hope Solebury sending district in order to be eligible for the scholarship. You don't have to go to a public high school, but you need to live in that district. It is a hyper-local district. And I would also like to just take a moment. We have 3 great sponsors this year, the Bank of Princeton, McCaffrey's Food Market, and Hunterdon Bucks Realty. And their generous sponsorship is allowing us to turn 100% of the poster sales into scholarship dollars. So
wow, great.
So thank you. And I should also mention that TAPinto is a media sponsor of the Shadfest this year as well. So Bill, you were in music, hiring a lot of bands over the years. What has that venture been like, over the past couple decades?
It's been very fun. As a matter of fact, we had a huge variety of applicants, and people. We've had groups, return groups from Long Island and from Philly and all around. They hear about this incredible Shadfest and they want to perform here. It's what they get is a T-shirt and a sandwich, and so you have to want to play. It's one of those. So, but we've always had more applications than we could fill, just because of the turnaround times on setting up the bands and so forth.
And can you tell us the origins? You're a musician yourself, and can you tell us about the origins of the Shadfish Boogie? Sorry.
Oh, well, I moved here in 1984 for the first time, and I lived right across from Charlie Pellegrino Signs. And at that time, Charlie was playing in his basement, and I've always played, I had different bands and so forth. And I moved up to this state from Florida, and with AT&T. And so, but anyway, I got together with Charlie, and our first our first Shadfest, I think, was in 1984, and it was at the bank parking lot. That's how big it was. It was just in the bank parking lot.
This is the same bank where we do the Christmas and the Hanukkah menorah lights.
Yeah, yeah. At the
Okay, all right, that's small.
That's all.
that-
The whole Shad Festival was in that parking lot.
That's where
In
the
that-
food court is this year, you know.
Yeah, and so now it takes up the entire town, you know. But back then, just so we were the only two musicians, you know, one little bitty platform, and he played and then I played, and so it was one of those deals, and it just grew over time, and Steve Segman, I think, is the one that started the Shadfest evening with the bands, and at the YMAC. And those were really fun. He was the MC for that, and those were really fun things. And we played. My band typically would play there, and it was just a great kickoff to the Shadfest. And so it just came to me, you know, that I hadn't heard anything about the festival, no musical thing about the festival or whatever. So I sat down and wrote this thing and had a lot of fun with it, you know, the Shadfest Boogie.
So do you want to give us a live version, or do you want me to play the stage, you know, the studio version?
How about I do one?
Yes.
I mean, can you hear this?
Yes. No.
You can hear that? Can you hear this?
Yes.
Is that too loud?
I'm gonna mute
Yeah.
myself, but yeah, it sounds great.
All right, so I'll do the first verse. I said, hey, Mr. Shadfish is my name. Y'all look so nice, I hope you have a great day. Cause it's all about fish and the time to have fun. The great Shadfest is just begun. Let's do the Shadfish Boogie. Shadfish Boogie. Doing the Shadfish Boogie, and I'm moving on down the street. So that's kind of it. But you can do the live one if you want. I mean, the studio version if you like, you know.
Oh, we'll try to use the play out maybe. And we're gonna, you know, if you got it online, I'd love to link it in the show notes, like, you know, and I'll just end the broadcast with it if necessary. But so when's the first time you had shad, and was that the inspiration for the song that you ate the fish?
I doubt it.
You never know.
I've never had a shad.
Really?
No, that's not true. I ate one back in 85, 86, somewhere around there. And but that was the last time I really had shad. And I love to watch them catch it off of Lewis Island, and you know, out in the boats and so forth. And I have the book, The American Fish. It's called The American Fish, and it's all about the shad. And my neighbor gave it to me to read, and I got some ideas from that. And but the song is pretty old, actually. I've been playing it every year that we played. And actually I've written another one called Love the Delaware, which we're actually recording now, my band, The Lifters.
Will you be performing this year?
It's coming out this year, yeah. It's coming out probably in the next couple of months.
Will you be performing at the Shad Fest this year?
No, I won't. I'll be working the Shad Fest. I'd love to be performing it, but you know, we were asked to, my wife Nora and I were asked to volunteer on the operations side. So, you know, that's cool. We'll probably be playing down in my basement.
I imagine so when it's all done.
Which is on the towpath, you know. So the patio is on the towpath. So probably the band members in the evening will be jamming out there.
Cool. So is there anything else you'd like to say for viewers, either of you?
Amy?
Well, the poster auction opens Friday evening at 6 o'clock at the preview party. You can register to bid. You can leave an absentee bid. You can bid on a silent auction item. The silent auction runs all day Saturday, and then it closes Sunday at 2. And then 3 o'clock on Sunday of Shadfest weekend, the Shad Queen comes out in all of her regalia, and the live auction begins. It's always a good time. They're always wonderful posters. This year, we're excited that Suzanne Perot from Rego Wright Auctions is joining us again, along with Mayor Larry Keller from New Hope as our auctioneers. And that is sure to be a good time because Suzanne and Larry are just two really upbeat supporters of the arts. And, you know, it's all for the children. So please come out and bid early, often, and a lot.
And that is all at the church, correct?
Yes, that is all at the Presbyterian Church.
Cool. Bill, any parting words?
Well, no, I invite everybody to come because it's just a great festival, and get down there Friday night and see the Shackers to kick it off, get a little music going on.
Yeah, you'll be able to go back and forth between the two because we're going to be across the street from each other on Friday night. So you can hear the Shackers, you can enjoy the auction, go back and hear some more music, back and forth. It'll be really a great night.
Yeah, see you there.
I'll see you there.
And
Perfect.
the Friday event is Friday, April 22nd, and Shadfest officially is Saturday, April 23rd, and Sunday, April 24th from 11 to 5 p.m. And this has been Tap Into You. I'm Steve Chernoski. Joining me today has been Amy and Bill. Thank you very much for all your work on
Sure.
Shadfest over the decades. And let's have some Shadfest. Let's all have some Shad, you know, right there, you know, at the Lambertville station at the foot of the bridge.
There you
Take
go.
care, everybody.
There you go. Thank
Thank
you,
you, Steve.
Steve.